Are you ready? Fire in the room. Run, run, run. You should see Dominica dancing. That's why I'm telling her fire in the room.
Last time I danced in this room, when I went back home, the doctor told me, stop doing it. I was swollen like this. And now I have to wear the trainers all the time. But I was supposed to be after you. We're doing this together. My friend. No? Or no? We did this together, so Exactly.
Okay. She was going to say where it came from, but
Should I start? Okay. I can start with the story where it came from. Okay, I'll tell you the story where it came from. What do we do?
you go and I can go.
Okay. So I'll tell you the story of this thing. It's not from any book, okay? It's really based on all the learnings we have and all the wisdoms we have in our heads, and the giraffes. So I was visiting Joyce at her place, and if you go to her place, it's really inspirational. There is first of all, there's a lot of giraffes. And a lot of beautiful paintings from Africa. So we had a different diagram last year, and we're like, I'm an engineer from the background. Joyce is coming from academia. We're like, all these things we have for these teams, they're just so squarish. And we're teaching them about being authentic, about being more humane, being more people-oriented, nature-oriented. So one morning, and I couldn't sleep because I had the jet lag. So we sat in the morning, early morning, and we're like, we have a vision here. We started talking, and we spin on each other's ideas. We had all this preparing for this cohort. And we came up with the first drawing of this thing. So it's not from any book. It's based on many research, what we knew from different models, from our trainings, from all the wisdoms we got from our experiences. And we came with this for you. So if you are the ones coming from the second cohort or the first cohort, you haven't seen that. And the reason we wanted something simple that you can easily relate to around what are we actually doing here. Because it's a lot about you as a leader. It's a lot about the team. And there's a lot about organization. But primarily is everything, why are we doing this, is how can you help your communities? But another thing that was really important is that when we did this, we were driven by these values. We are really good friends with Joyce. We know each other for 3 years now. Yeah, we've been a lot of meetings together on Zoom mostly. But this was really a co-creation, based on previous learnings. If you look at that, we really have trust to each other. We have a safe space. When we browsed these ideas, we were spinning on each other. There was nothing right and wrong. It was just like, yeah, let's do like this, maybe like that. Let's add this, let's add that. So this is how this map was created. We are a good team together. And we also, the reason why we are all here, and all the coaches and all of you, is because the work you're doing. So it was the every day when we said, how can we help these people to achieve their goals, their mission, actually, their purpose. So really, I wanted just to share this because this was created from the heart and also inspirational from Joyce's beautiful home. She has all these African things that I get inspired. So when we drew it first time, and we have a helper, afterwards we have actually an illustrator who is helping us doing this. We sent him the first drawing. He forgot about the giraffe. And I said, listen, Joyce, the giraffe is coming back into the picture. We need to have an animal. We need to have children. So this is how it's really, so this is for you. It's created for you, from all of us. And then, of course, we had the inputs from all the coaches. But it is for you. You will not find in any book. So it belongs to all of us. And we hope that this thing was going to guide you through this program, because all the elements we're going to be speaking, and also if you think about the speaker that was just before us, she was mentioning all of these elements. I was so glad. I was just circling around. It's like, yeah, we got it all. And there will be more. So let this guide you why we are doing, where we are during this program. Okay? Do you need something? Okay.
So I will go through this. I have actually already gone through it this morning, some sense. I want you to observe the fact that there are no lines. It is moving from one place to another and merging and integrating. And so you can see we've talked a lot about the individual today. And the individual that we are thinking about is really this transformational leader who is self-aware, who is inclusive, and who is caring. It is a kind of what is the value system of the leader. And so that leader comes as a whole package, not as when I come, I leave myself outside the door, and then now I am in the office. Or when I go to the communities, I do have to be this way. I think it is when you are nurtured inside, you can nurture other people. When you are really starving from inside, you translate that to the people that you are dealing with. And so there's a lot of stuff around self here. Some of it we will be discovering. Some of it we have already discovered from Anagram. And, it is not just only a caring leader. It is a cared for leader. From inside, you taking care of yourself. So we are going to be talking about wellness at some point, because really a faulty vehicle, whichever side it is coming from, ends up not getting people where they wanted to go. And so I think the effort really has been, me, then going to the team. But we are calling it our purpose map. This is where we are now, maybe where we want to go as the future comes. And so these are some of the things that we want to be thinking and talking to each other, because by the time we get to that second level, you can't really connect with other people and the team in a way that is productive and is transformational unless you've taken care of yourself. And so you will hear throughout our discussions here issues around psychological safety, trust, which we really need. I think tomorrow when we talk about authentic leadership, we will also talk about the problems. What makes that so hard in the office? Because you can't do that, they'll fire you or something. I mean, what is happening there? Trust is developed and it has to be based on something, and sometimes it has some boundaries. And empathy. If I don't feel with you, I cannot really, I cannot do as to you as I should be done to me. And so I remember getting very offended in my earlier life career, somebody just saying, African women don't feel that pain when they lose their child. And I was like, really? A child is a child. But because of what was in their mind and where they were placing, it is like you are supposed to feel less. So of course, since I'm crazy, I just went exactly, what do you mean? Because a child is a child. Empathy, something that we don't learn, and something when we are on high gear, we don't think as that person, we don't feel with that person. So you are going to hear these things the next 2 days, so that when they come, you are not really worrying about what are they talking about here. You are going to, of course, we have talked about collaboration this morning, and it is going to keep happening at the team level. This is very difficult. Anyway, you just know, we will talk about it more. The collaboration isn't so easy when there's also competition, and that competition is brought about by the bosses who prefer this one person and not the other one. and then treat this one different way and another different. So there are issues here. But if the goal is up there where we are trying to go, then that changes. And then we talked quite a bit with about the communication. And I think this is a biggie. Not just, people just expect that you look at them and you read their mind. And this is happening in our offices. And that kills team. So reading some of the reports that you're doing, that you have done before this and the organizational assessment thing, this is one of the problems. People are not sure what they're supposed to do or how they should do it, or it is just communicated by signs. And I can say this with permission. Africans are so good at just hoping that you got it. Remember different glasses. Green sees green, and yellow is seeing yellow. So how did you come to be assuming that we are just thinking alike? And now I hope Annie Graham has taught you how, I kept wishing. I wanted to be another number because I like that number so much. I can't tell you which one because I'm not 8. So I better be settled with who I am and accept it. But it is all those things. So how you communicate, some people just do this. And it is like, what is that supposed to do? And some people say, I don't read the body language. What is that? What body? Kind of a thing. So again, the communication, the feeling a part of something, the feeling I understand, now I know what to do. And then this co-creation thing is a biggie in this program. This is your program, guys. And you get from it how much you put in it. And co-creation will mean we will be talking tomorrow about stuff that actually mostly men don't like hearing about, called vulnerability and, stuff like that and things like, But by the end, it is their superpower. So you can see from the individual merging into the team. And then we have the whole thing about the organization. Are you empowering people? Are people continuously learning? Can people actually take risks in your place? One of the things that is stifling us, and we just think that way. How was it done before? Why? We can learn from that, but is there a different way? And that is where we are talking current way and new way. Language that you will hear here, because a lot with especially with the coaches and all that. And, initially this word team culture is very elusive. What is that? Is there a culture? And you could talk a lot about values, but when we ask question about culture, it's another whole business. Because what culture? What do you mean? Kind of a thing. So we are going to talk about all these things, and this is now at the purpose, the express purpose of doing this is to connect with the, So this afternoon, you will be working with the coaches, and you will be trying to identify your purpose. Where are you? But also, later in the session, is then where do we want to go? What is our purpose? What is, and a lot of that is in what you said before. But unless you are grounded in what is, then you cannot see. You cannot see what is yet to come. And so how do we have an inspirational purpose? You don't have to motivate me. Actually, the thing that you have to do about this collective thing is when I wake up, I am ready with my shoes on to run with it. Because I think of you, and now that actually I've seen you face to face, it is a very different experience. I'm not thinking about, I only knew Joseph and 3 or 4 people here. But now I know you, and I can see my, what are they? They are called dream catchers, the people who catch the dream and run with it. How is that not inspirational, guys? How does that not make you want to scream and really run even faster? Because I don't really have to live my life again. You are here and connected to another 100 people somewhere across this environment, And so how can we be us, create and have a purpose around us, and unite around that thing, and hold, how they say you put your hand like this? You can't break that thing when it is done like that. and you can move towards your purpose. So we want to establish what we understand now and where we want to go. And that is what this is going to be, that is what this is going to be about. And as you hang it where you hang it, every day, it is laminated so that if you would need to carry it, if you need to put it somewhere, it is really what we have been trying to do. If you remember, I said individual, team, and organization. Or the other way around. We wondered whether we should turn it the other way around, but for now, we feel like the individual is the base. And does you remember, the CEOs knows that I asked for the strategic plan. Is it aligned with this? Or is it something that you sat in the office and because the donor was asking, you crafted something? When was the last time you looked at your strategic plan? When was the last time it led you? And I'm not talking about the CEO. I'm talking about staff. Since you are the leadership team, where are you leading them? But is it even aligned with what you want to do? So this thing will be coming on, and a few other things, but this is now our whatever we are stepping on and trying to get to the next point.
Maybe something I'd like to add. I mean, this is a map of the land that you have. So it's not a map of something that it's known. Each of you is going to have a different territory. And I was inspired yesterday when I was talking to one of my teams, because you're also, when you go to the communities, you bring in to them something, but you talk with them and have a conversation. How could this work for you? And this is exactly the same. This is just questions for you to ask yourselves and your team. How are we doing? How am I as a leader? Am I a self-aware leader? If yes, in what way? In what way I am co-creating with my colleagues? How does team culture look for our team? Are we thinking about the stakeholders? Which ones did we forget? Which ones do we need to bring in? So this is really not something to implement. This is not a model. This is really just a drawing to inspire you. It is a drawing to inspire you. And that gives you also questions that you can ask yourself. Am I, as a leader, do I ask questions about the communities? This ones you're very good at. But about the nature, when we come into the communities, how does the work we do impact their nature around them? So this is really like continuous learning. Did I ask myself every day, what am I learning from this day? I don't like using the word failures, and really in this program we've been trying so many things, and we just learned a lot of things. We didn't fail, we learned. And after each day, we have, all of us coaches have notes. What did I learn, and what can I do differently next time? I didn't fail. I've done my best at that moment, and I've learned the next day I'm doing it even better from daily learnings. So we're going to go into the coaching. And I think, as Joyce said, these parts is going to show up. Because the coaching program is in a team. It's a safe space of your teams. And we're going to do it together. And you're going to co-create it. And co-creation is about owning it together. And all the coaches are going to ask you a question. When we're going to create a program, does it work for you all? Not for your one leader, another leader, or stronger person on 8s, 8s and 3s, and there's some Enneagrams who are like, yeah, they like talking. Does it work for all of you? So we will make sure as coaches that this is a co-creation. Yeah? And we are there also to help you to co-create.
Yeah, so I think we will go to the next thing that we are going to be doing, where you land on the areas of growth. Remember, we are not talking about weaknesses. Areas of growth. And what can we tackle in the next 6 months. Not everything. Because when you aim at, everything, you get nothing going. And so we are going to go through now, after this, very live coaching. We are going to experience coaching if you haven't. And if you have, it is another repeat. And we are going now to wet our feet with the real stuff on what is next. And then, so we have two parallel things going. The 3 groups are going to experience the coaching, and then the other 3 groups are going to talk about, hey, stakeholders, gender, are we inclusive? What is going on? What are the dynamics there? And when we come from break, we will switch that. And so everybody is going to experience everything, only at different times. Is that clear? What we are going to be doing next? Because we will spend more time with this and your organizational map and your coach trying to get somewhere, and they'll lead you in terms of what ought to happen. It's your turn, I guess.
Yes, it is. So that's, but give them a round of applause for sitting in Joyce's house and watching giraffes. Good job, thank you. So we are going to go straight into this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Coaching is the most exciting thing and the most impactful. So you see how much time Joyce spent discussing coaching. It's very intimate, it's very, I think you've gone through it, Emmy. So you know, yeah. We're going to, the way Joyce has explained, we're going to go into 2 parts, 2 groups. The group that will remain here will discuss gender with Purity. Purity had not introduced herself. Purity Wave. She's also a coach, but she's also a feminist and a gender expert. So she'll work with us on gender. So between 2:15 and 4:15, Amani, Kimanya, and Fitch will go through their first coaching session. If your name is not here, means you stay here. And then between 5:30 and 7:30, Greek, Glami, and Tenmet will go through their first coaching session. So in the room now here will be Greek, Glami, and Tenmet discussing gender. Right? We are together. Between, you see this is 4:15. Between here and here, please pick your cup of tea and come back to the room, because we want to have just a short period to discuss the organizational transformative plan. Okay? Remember Joyce said we are here, you're here for communities. So there's you, there's your team, there's your organization, and there's community. But for this to deliver that, you need that transformative plan. So we'll do an introduction. But don't worry about that now. I want Amani to stand up and follow Sarah. That's the best way to get moving. Rachel will help you in knowing where you're going. Kimanya to follow Dominica, and Fitch to follow Jules. And as you're leaving, please clear your desk, your table where you are, because those who are behind will come and sit in this, the spaces here in front. Enjoy your coaching sessions.